Oh, Daddy, that is almost up the back.
Guys, hello and welcome to Skycurser Daily number 82. We got some good things on the docket for today. We're going to pick up right where we left off from last stream. Last stream we were working on the water right behind the bridge in the transition for level 2. And I'm going to do some modifications so that the water appears right behind a building at just the right time. Right now the water is peeking out from behind a building. I want to fix that. And then I also want to adjust the transition for the bushes on level 2. So we're gonna introduce the bushes that should appear behind the bridge while you're going over the water a little bit sooner, because right now the bushes are taking too long to appear. Also, after that, I think I'm going to go ahead and just transition immediately into working on the boss, but first I want to transition into the background for the boss, where you're going to fight the boss at. So and that's going to be the shipyard. That'll take a little bit of work to get set up and running, and then we're just going to start working on the boss if I'm able to get that far. So I think I have some scripting written down for the end of level 2 and or the boss, which is Julio and Cesar. So you'll get to see those here in a minute. So P-Dog Jr., man, thanks for joining the stream. Doing good, man, doing real good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it's been a little bit since I've been able to stream. As you guys know, if you've been following along, I just had a brand new baby. Baby's about 3 weeks old, and so I'm just trying to get my footing with that, and my wife is even now being gracious with me, letting me stream. So yeah. And are you saying congratulations for the baby, or something to do with Skycurser? So, yeah, and we've also been, I haven't been completely off the radar. We have been, myself, Chris, and Phil have been working a lot on pricing, and P-Dog Jr., yeah, thanks, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for the congratulations on the baby. So yeah, we've been working on pricing for the game, specifically. Also, if you guys have been following, you guys know that we're building this for the arcade. So we're working on pricing for the arcade cabinet. We're working on pricing for the conversion kit. So not everybody who runs an arcade is going to want a dedicated cabinet, and not everybody needs a dedicated cabinet, because a lot of arcade operators / owners also just have several spare cabinets laying around, or cabinets that they'd like to flip based on how much revenue that cabinet in particular is generating. So we have a conversion kit that allows an owner operator to convert the cab to the Skycurser cab, and kind of have the entire setup for the Skycurser cab. So we'll have some guidelines around that, but a lot of it is simply just replacing the PCB. And we've been working on some of that. Phil has been making a lot of headway on the enclosure for the PCB and how that's all going to sit inside the cabinet. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard our pricing initially. We haven't had a lot of opportunity to fully delve into 100% of the costs, especially since we're still kind of in the prototype phase. But our initial price, as low as we can get it on the conversion kit, is roughly $7.99 on the conversion kit, and roughly, yeah, so that's about it. Dedicated cabinet's a little bit more expensive, but that's just to be expected. So, all right, let's get into where we're at. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and, as we normally do at the start of the stream, we'll just dive right in and hit play so we can see exactly where we're at. I know that we're going to get all the way to the end of level 2 here, at least as far as what I have programmed, and we're going to see the bridge transition and the water transition for the bridge, and we're just going to be tweaking a few pieces there. So let's just watch this, and of course it's the first compile of the night. The first compile always takes the longest, but we all know that. So we're just going to see how this goes, and like I said, just going to do some minor tweaks to the water initially, and going to try to get the transition for the foreground buildings kicked off a little bit earlier than they currently are on the bridge transition. So I'm going to watch the compile here for a minute so we can see it. And how are you guys doing? P-Dog, how you doing, man? Coming to other platforms as well. That is definitely a conversation that we've had multiple times. That's tentatively the plan, yes. So we are kind of getting our feelers out for exactly what platforms everybody wants to us to port to. And so definitely open to whatever it is you have to say. What would you prefer, P-Dog Jr.?
Still avoiding calls from our phone. I do not have time to chat. I'm sure to talk to them. You said that always. Saturday, he wants to get together tonight at dinner. Work and family trust. Good. You guys can probably talk in a while. What do you do? I'm hoping that you'll just not help me. You can do this. How do you do this? Okay, well, how about, you cheated on my mom and you didn't buy out of your stuff. So what good did it do? Somebody used to think that I was on. I don't need to get out. You don't talk. You don't talk anyway. I'll tell you what I feel right now. I feel that you should do this because you're ready to do this. This is taking my heat. Yes, no, that sounds terrible.
Hey-oh, got a bug. No need for this water counter anymore. I removed the code for it, so that's probably why we're getting a bug here. It's looking for water counter, and it doesn't exist. So let's fix that up. We were right about to see where the water came across, so let's just keep that moving. Let me make sure I squash this bug real quick. There's our water counter, background controller level 2. No arcades anywhere near me, so even if the closest arcade got a Skycurser cab, I probably would never get to play. I think a PC release would definitely be great, and if it's possible, consoles as well, PlayStation Network and Xbox Marketplace, whatever they're called. Yeah, man. We were contacted by the guys at PlayStation Network, so that was a good contact for us. We were early on in development, but they definitely gave us, their blessing in terms of wanting us to get on their network. So we are definitely looking forward to making that step eventually. So let's see, step. It's in the step script. And as far as PC, I think that would probably be the easiest release. And then followed by PlayStation and Xbox, but PC would probably be like a Steam release or something. Alright, and where's the water counter? What line are we looking at? 37. Here it is. No longer necessary. Bye-bye. Alright, let's play again. Also, I've been meaning to ask, the cockpit HUD isn't permanent anymore, as in no more animations when Guy shoots the Vulcan. Yeah, we got a lot of feedback on that. The main thing was it takes up a lot of screen real estate while you're playing. And even though it slides out of the way, it still takes up a lot of screen real estate for a large amount of the game. So we're just trying to minimize it, and we might not even be at our final state with it. But for now, we feel like we got a good spot with it, and we're going to keep adding to it so that he comes out more frequently. He's not quite out as frequently as he used to be, but yeah. Thanks for asking on that, though. Glad you're following. How'd you hear about us, P-Dog? I don't know if I've seen you in here before, man. Say what? Awesome. Say what? Oh, I heard you. Yeah. Hey-o. So here's the transition to the bridge. This first set of buildings that are right behind the bridge, I wanted those to transition sooner. Looks like we got a pretty good transition here. I don't see the water yet. Actually, the buildings are still there. I want them to transition a little bit sooner, the close buildings. And there's the water. I don't see it peaking. But yeah, the water's sitting in a really good spot right there. And that's the end, because that's all I've got it timed for right now. Someone upon this stream a few weeks ago had a different nickname because I lost the password to this account, but I recovered a few days ago. Been following along since then, checking the YouTube dailies and shot Phil a few emails. Tight, dude. Thanks for following along, man. Are you a developer, or you just following the development of Skycurser more than anything? Okay, so we saw exactly what it is that we're going to be updating, so let's start focusing on that. Lights, first buildings, second buildings. And far buildings. Oh, awesome, man. That's sweet, dude. Alright, and then this one is the sky. Okay.
Interior color correction covers in one coat guaranteed. Bear Marquee, Bear's most advanced interior paint and primer, exclusively at the Home Depot. Did you know only 1% of supplements are in the USP mark? An independent certification.
Front bridge, back bridge and road. Set of trees and bushes. So we want this to switch sooner. B2. If the bridge transition is complete, or if it's not complete, do that. Front bridge transition.
If you're worried about debt, call now to see if you qualify. 1-888-332-1900.
The Pro version had to give us the essential tools that we needed. The very basic version has very limited functionality. Something really low, like 10 or 15 objects that you could create, and we have a ton of objects that we've created here. Here's a list of all the objects we've created. You can see in the asset window over here, all these that you see here, as I expand, these are objects within the game. They have different, functions throughout, but boss has its own tank, enemy, all these different enemies have related objects, and so we needed we needed the expanded version of Game Maker. Yeah, there's a lot here. So anyways, I could keep going and keep expanding these trees, but there's just a lot, so it's not worth it. So yeah, it's, as you can imagine, like just kind of keeping it organized has been important, just refactoring as much as possible. Yeah, Unity I hear is really good, and it's really good supposedly for 3D development. I haven't gotten a chance to check out Unity yet. But GameMaker does what we needed to do, so just going to continue working with GameMaker for now. So, and I kind of like to push the boundaries of GameMaker. As I understand, GameMaker is supposed to be really good, even for some 3D stuff, but maybe needs some work on user interface and such. So, so there'll be, they've been working on GameMaker for a while, but I think there are probably some things that still need to be addressed with GameMaker. So, just, trying to push it to the limits right now. All right. Trees and bushes. So I got to get the trees and bushes in here sooner. First time transition into long bridge. I got to look at my different backgrounds here, guys. Got to catch up on exactly what all it is that I'm looking at here. Go back and refresh myself, Alright, so that's the water. B4 is the far buildings. B3, B2 is the row of bushes. So what I need to do is swap out this B2 with background 3 here. I need to do that at the right time. I think I'm going to have another if statement down here. And I'll probably have to have another variable in place. So let's go ahead and just go through the script controller. Or we're on GitHub. We're actually using Bitbucket. So Bitbucket allows you to have 2 projects for free under 1 account, and that's what I'm using. And we're right here at the init, and I probably need to notice we have a controller room 2 reference, which is the object controller room level 2. This is the script background for level 2, but I want the controller, so I need the room level 2 init. So this will be where I set my variable to control those buildings. So I'm going to say re0 dot Bush's transition equals false, and we'll set Bush's transition to true in the enemy controller a little bit earlier. And I'll just, I'm going to mess with this a little bit, probably get in game a couple times to just modify this instead of trying to guess exactly when this is going to happen. The other possibility is to literally just generate it as soon as it's time. So let me look at this for a second. So instead of adding the width of sprite background 3, could potentially just generate it immediately, and then when the bridge transition is complete, we're going to need to regenerate that multiple times. And we're already doing it with the water. The water is generating here. So I think what we need to do is pull this guy down into here. This is the Bushes, matches background 3. Okay, and we will just go sprite get width object. We'll go sprite background B2. So that'll get it to repeat as necessary. And then this, what if we just simply, let's not do the X position. Let's literally just try something crazy and just keep a copy of that, but let's put this at room width instead of this calculation. Let's put it at room width. And just let it generate immediately as soon as we start generating everything else, and just see what that looks like. Now, I didn't see the water out of position, so I'm not necessarily going to mess with that right now. And I think this is going to be in the exact correct position. I do have to change this. B2.x. So I'm going to cancel that just for a second and reload because I made a change right here. Let's try again.
More. Can't we just talk?
All right, let's see what we got, guys. Yeah, private repo.
You never asked me. You just acted like nothing ever happened. And I was traumatized by you.
I understand how difficult things work.
You don't. You don't. When you would have talked to me about it, you would have told me that I know. You would have done something. Somebody would have done You asked me not to say anything. I'm scared that Mom and me, you asked me to just say anything. Everything. I wanted you to say that.
Okay, let's look for that bush transition. The bush transition is good, but it's not sitting on top of the other buildings.
Your secret became my secret.
So right now it just looks like the buildings are kind of swallowed up in bushes. All we got to do is change the depth on that to the depth of that guy plus 1, and that should fix that. No, actually we should change the depth of okay, so we're gonna have to change a few things here. So arg0 dot depth equals arg0 I said that wrong. arg0 dot background b2 dot depth equals arg0 dot background 3 dot depth plus minus 1. So minus 1 there, and then we're going to do something really crazy, which is just put this depth for background 3 to plus. Let's actually make it deeper than the sky immediately. Well, it's going to make it look like it's flickering. Let's just do it real quick and see how bad it looks. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need Chris to cut up some sprites a little bit differently than the way they're cut up right now. So background 6 dot depth plus 1. So as soon as we get the depth off of it here, we just immediately set it to 1 deeper than the sky, which will put it behind the sky immediately. So not exactly sure how bad that's going to look, but it should get covered up pretty quickly by the new bushes coming on screen immediately. Let's just take a look at that.
I'll text you when I just
Imagine.
Okay, so
Man, I'm not sure what the bug is that we just saw, but there was a crazy bug that just happened.
That's what we call our responders.
Wow. Really odd. Shorten the level tremendously.
Why didn't you tell me?
We already was pretty upset about it. I sure
Hadn't seen that one before. I wonder if it was just because I made the background go away,
We practically live here.
which would be odd.
About things we should be.
There's security breach. What you want to say? These problems that Stuart was having, what happened?
There was something that I left out with the background, so I gotta fix that.
Keep client and responder information anonymous. Those conversations are formal.
So step event is here.
No, but we have an archive.
Have the backgrounds showing up right here.
All your data, as a matter of fact.
And I wanted to
Honestly, I don't.
take everything out and control it with the enemy generator. So let's go open the enemy generator, shrink these. We're looking at enemies here. I want to go to controllers and look at enemies.
Working hypothesis. Okay, so let's test
Enemy
it out.
generator for level 2 is here.
Anything. But make it big so it counts. We're gonna see if we can-
So what I thought was, as soon as as I was working on this, I think I
Fringe has always been one of my favorites. Right there.
was fine with the way this was going to turn out.
There you go. But this is good. Keep lying. Alright, keep it up. You're gonna break through this. Oh, hey. The whole Fringe jacket thing? I'm not doing
Depth
that.
-1.
Gee, I love it when you think things.
Let's do this guy down here.
Vince, just tell Kiki you're sorry. Couples argue, it's normal.
No, Kiki and I don't. Mostly we laugh. This is our first argument. I want to make sure the apology is right.
What did you fight over anyway?
It's so stupid. She talked about this wedding she's looking forward to going to, and she didn't.
Man, I'm not sure if I'm going to have that bug again. Let's see if we have that bug again.
And I got annoyed and said some things I wish I hadn't.
Oh, so you get your normal thing? Just tell her.
Maybe a little more problem.
I did want to change the speed on these second set of roaches, or this set of roaches that basically comes out in 3s. Or 4s.
So, your timing is perfect because Vince was just telling me how he had something very important he wanted to talk about.
Alright, let's get into it.
Besides, most albums have been to reverse.
I'm not sure exactly what happened.
You don't have to apologize, right?
Upset about going to work. I just thought you wanted to keep it small. Well,
Well, I want to very much.
So we did not have that bug again. But the transition never occurred, which was really odd. I think one thing I can do here is force the transition to occur.
So they text him information and then he uses it to wrong, except that it's probably not Stewart.
At the specified point in time, so that I never get into a situation where it's just infinitely waiting for the bridge. So we'll keep that open for a second, but we know we're looking for
Unfortunately, a lot of people.
the bridge transition.
We're gonna check them out one by one, but it's gonna take some time.
Do you still have a lot of trouble? Winston?
Who's Winston?
Me as big boyfriend. I texted him how my brother needs his electric guitars in his van.
Where is that transition at?
Whoa. Babe,
There it is. Yeah?
Aaron pointed out how Lindley hasn't been spitting up yet and how Liam totally was at this point.
Yeah, you're right. I've thought about that.
This is the part where you put your hands in.
Close, close.
Get busy here. I don't know what you're talking about. You caught you red-handed. All I did was threaten the one at the van. Oh. So this had nothing.
I think the questions in the FAQ are missing the corresponding answers. They are. I haven't gotten a chance to fill them in yet. I need to.
Especially given that every one of these bourbons also involves.
We've got a lot more FAQs than that, though. So we need to fill that out. I need to fill that out. All right. Good eye, though. Good eye. You're the first person to tell me that, which I knew was the case, but you're literally the first person to say something about it.
They really is a little stranger, all of it personal. And if it wasn't me, it would have been somebody else. But it was. You got it. It's hard to believe that pull this off without anyone else catching on. But you got everything. Oh, cereal like it. So next to a crane, and you want a piece. Or brought you Stephen from the client. Stuart Crane. What's he have to do with this? No, something have to do with murder. I had something to do with this. Did you? I barely knew. If you know anything, you need to tell us. This is serious.
Looking for the background controllers. There they are. Level 2. Here we go. Sometimes, man, it just takes a minute to get to your specific controllers, and I think that was probably incorrect, and my thinking was incorrect. I'm looking for the enemy generator controller, level 2. Here we go. It was sitting right here the whole time. Okay. I think at this point I'm just going to force everything to transition to the bridge by literally just, you know, zeroing out all the counts that this script is looking for, and that's right here. So global.ambulance infected 0 global.roach counter, because what's happening is one of the specific enemies is not getting destroyed properly. It's persisting, and I'm not sure which one it is. Normally it gets killed, apparently, but one of them is persisting, and we're just going to change that so that we force the bridge to occur. Ellie Wolf counter. It might actually occur a little bit early, which will be interesting if it does. And then there's there's actually one memory leak that I know that is currently an issue that I need to fix. And it's affecting level 1 and 2 and attract mode. My goodness.
Actually, I was going to ask you if you enjoyed your he lives his life out of work. That's what's better since
Okay, so the background buildings didn't go as I expected them to. Oh, there they go. Nope. They're back. So this is just indicative of the issue, which is the depth didn't change as I needed it to. But the bridge transition did occur, and I actually don't see any more buildings right there. So I might be okay with how that's going right now. We'll see. Okay, and thumbs up. Water looks sort of vertical. That's probably related to, it's not really, if you've seen the sprite, I'll show you the sprite. Probably related to just how Chris did it with how he was trying to make reflection come off the water. Here it is right here. So let me see if I can zoom in. I can zoom in if I modify mask. But this is it right here as I scroll. So, and then this thing just flips and mirrors itself and then connects. So it might look sort of vertical only because I think of the reflection and just kind of the sprite effects that he's got going. So yeah, anyway. There it is right there. And it does have sub images too, so it moves. It's really intense. And in fact, its image speed may be a little bit too quick, so I might even try to slow that down a little bit. Let's see what its image speed is. Yeah, its image speed is 0.3, so it is slow, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Alright. So, this bug, this memory leak that I gotta fix is related, I believe, to backgrounds as they go off the screen. I believe the backgrounds are not destroying themselves. And I think that bug that I may have seen earlier might be related to a fix that I tried to make with the background but was not successful with. So the one where it glitched and just kind of jumped ahead to the bridge. So we're under controllers, background level 2. I know these are now under script, background level 2. Let me look here. Everything looks good there. I think this is where I made a mistake with these guys. Because argument 0 in this case is the controller for background level 2. It's not actually each one of these backgrounds. So I need to modify this. And the way I'm going to do that is to look at the backgrounds for level 2 and see if they inherit. Yes, they do. They inherit from object-based background. Do the backgrounds from level 1 inherit from anybody? Object-based background game. So those guys inherit. I don't know if the clouds do. No, they don't. Basically, every background needs to inherit from one background parent so that I can just apply my changes to the parent, and when the background is completely out of the room and has exited, so that its X position plus the size of the sprite is beyond 0 to the left as it's heading left, then we destroy the background. So let's start though with by creating the parent for background and base background game. So let's just go here. Just call this object background disposable, just so that it's obvious what this guy is doing. And we're going to take this right here and put it in the step event, and I'll walk through that code here in a second. Create event in a step event and drop some code in. Here it is. So arg0 is not going to be arg0. This is just going to be x, and this is going to be sprite width, and this is going to be self. So if outside room to the left, right now everything's moving to the left. Even backgrounds that kind of go diagonal out of the screen, like some of the clouds do, eventually their X position will be less than 0 minus the sprite width. And so we want to destroy every background when it goes off screen to the left. So, and we want to do the same thing with the obstacles, which are the vehicles in level 2, but I think those are already being destroyed, plus we stop generating them at some point. So technically there should never be a memory leak there. It should just stop, pulling memory at that point. But this should be enough. Let's see. Sprite get with self dot sprite index. That should do it every time. I should probably just do yeah, that's probably going to be the best way to do that. Obviously, bro. Yeah, man, it has been a while. Been trying to figure out baby. Still, I don't think I have my feet completely on the ground, but yeah, just trying to figure it all out. I like where this is right here, so I'm going to leave it there. This is going to be the parent for base background game. This guy's going to inherit from base background game. How's that going to create a loop? Object background disposable. Did I click the wrong one? Yes, I must have. Okay. And the level 2 has this guy, which should also inherit from the same parent. Cool. So now we basically have controlled it. Thanks, man. Yeah, I hope it gets easier too. So now we have at least the main backgrounds getting destroyed by the parent object background disposable, and we probably need to add the clouds from level 1. Let me see if all of these are inheriting from base background game. Let's just verify. Yes. Clouds are not, of course. Good. So I'm going to, I mean, I don't have a reason right now 100% to have a cloud object background. Cloud background object. I'm going to change the name of this to base background, and that should maintain in these other ones. Yes, it does. I'm going to create an object base background cloud, and all the clouds are going to inherit from it, but this guy is going to inherit from the parent that we just created, the disposable parent, because I'm sure at some point I'll want to have all clouds do the same thing, but for now I don't exactly know what that is right now. So let's just go about making these inherit properly. So let's start up here with these clouds. This inherits from, oh, wrong one already. Background cloud, background cloud, background cloud. What's the next one going to be, guys? Background cloud? Alright, yeah, you guessed it, you're right. Background cloud. Background cloud, peeps. Alright, keep going. Background cloud. What are these going to inherit from, guys? You guessed it. Background cloud. Alright. Background cloud. Background cloud. Okay. Background cloud. Okay, cool. So now, literally everything, all these objects will destroy when they fly off the screen. Will get destroyed when they fly off the screen. So we should be in really good shape there with base background cloud inheriting from disposable, and background game inherits from disposable, and so does base background inherit from disposable. So yeah, let's look at this guy. Yeah, this guy only has a create event. He's only got an init X and Y position. Cloud has nothing right now, but he inherits from disposable, which this is kind of an intermediary to the clouds in case I want to add anything to the parent, which would basically give properties to any cloud that inherits from it. But this guy has a parent of disposable, which will, as we know here, get destroyed when it flies off screen to the left. So let's see if we've broken anything with this new setup, and we'll know pretty much right away whether or not we've broken anything. So let's just verify we didn't break anything. What headset did I say that was? I don't know if I ever did say what it was. It is a Razer headset, and I can't remember the exact version, but it's Razer. Cool, we didn't break anything. Look, everything is flying off screen. Everything looks like it's still working. We would know immediately because the lights are flying off screen, and so is the road down below. Now, the backgrounds that are further back, those are probably not fully off screen yet, so we wouldn't know exactly if those are getting destroyed or not. But the road is definitely getting destroyed as time passes. And I'll probably just want to verify this on level 1 really quickly, so let me do that real quick.
Looks like you came up with it. You said stylish and demure. I have never used the word demure.
Cool, I like that. And let's just force the game to go to level 1 really quick.
I'm interviewing with a criminal on audition.
Press start, press start.
I think the bright color would look striking on them. Laura, you always look good. Mind your business. Thank you very much.
All right, here we go.
Yo, you want to ease the friction? Put it hot in the bathroom. You definitely need to face. This is style. It's couture. A recent psychological study found that wearing warm colors makes people feel that you are friendly and approachable. So something yellow might be more about it.
I think we're good because the backgrounds on the bottom are definitely flying off screen. The clouds are flying off screen. I like how that's all going right now. I'm going to let it go ahead and transition when I get to the middle, since we've got it basically baked into literally everything here. Oh. Any bugs? Any bugs? I don't see anything. I think we're in the clear. I'll go ahead and let it since I'm here, I'll go ahead and let it transition to the boss whenever the boss gets here. Looks good. So that should fix that memory leak big time. Oh man, I got a follow. Zoltaire, thanks so much for the follow. I didn't hear the alert go off, so sorry I missed that, but thank you so much for the follow. Thanks for the support, man. Welcome to the Griffin Aerotech School of Aviation.
I'll have it drawn up at the calendar.
Ooh, I saw a bug. Oh, it's not really a bug, actually. I've got that bug addressed. It's not a bug.
I don't make the rules, Sergeant. What's that? You want something special? You talk to my boss.
Alright, so that transition did occur this time. For whatever reason, it did not occur in the past, but I think I made it stronger by forcing it. Everything looks good to me right there.
So what's the real problem?
I can barely see the water, which is interesting. Oh, there's a good look at the water, but other than that,
You sure you don't want to tell me anything?
Why?
Hudson Son, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Griffin Aerotech School of Aviation. I appreciate the support, man. I'm surprised I did not see that get triggered, though. Not sure how it triggers while I'm in game, but anyway, definitely appreciate the support, guys. Alright, what's next here?
They wanted to know if I belong to an online dating service.
Let me see something real quick. There we go. Alright. So, got that right where we want it. When you heard me say I saw a bug going into level 2, my lives went from 1 to 3. But that is intentional. That's the way I actually have it set up currently as I'm testing level 2. So that's just something that we go and change whenever we, make the whole game start from level 1. All right. What is next? Man, we are knocking things out today. That's really good. Now, I am going to address the way that works for that background that just disappears behind all the other backgrounds. I just don't have an easy way to do it right now. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to have Chris, our art guy, basically split that really long background up, and I'll show you the background. It's huge. Level 2 background, and we're looking at, I think this is the guy, yeah. 3,000 width. See how this width is 3,000? It's a very, very long background. And I'm just going to have them split it up so that I can just interject the new background whenever I'm ready to interject it. But the problem is right now, this background, if I set it up in a really smooth manner, this background has to finish completely before the bushes and the trees that are supposed to be the same layer come on screen. And it doesn't work the way we need it to for the bridge transition. It doesn't allow me to cut over immediately, which is what I need to do. Could I cut them up myself with, like GIMP or Photoshop or something like that? Yeah, I could, but it would take definitely a while to do that. it'd take Chris a matter of seconds. It would take me a matter of half an hour. So just easier to let him do that. All right. I'm going to drive, and I'm going to look for the transition. I don't think I have those pulled in yet. The transition from the bridge to the shipyard. So let me look. No, I don't yet. So I'm going to download that. And I'm going to start adding those.
She had 2 daughters. One had a long history of drug-related arrests, and the other was a model sister.
Okay, downloading one of the transitions, and then downloading dock elements and cargo boats.
I appreciate your cooperation.
So we'll put all these in together, and you guys will see me add these. So right now I've downloaded these 3 sets right here of zip files, and I'm just going to extract them. I need to do some cleanup here. Obviously, I just got a ton of files that I've downloaded, and they're all sprites, and I just need to delete them, clean them out of here, because they're all on our Drive account. So, all right. So here these guys are. I would like to move these up a level to desktop, so that I can just navigate to desktop. Let's go ahead and try again. Okay, sprites, backgrounds, level 2. Now I'm going to create a couple groups real quick, so that I can just organize these a little bit. City, that's 0 through 5. Okay. Okay. Next, we're going to create bridge and drop these in. Here's the bridge transition.
So it didn't go well. Well, 3 bankruptcies, 2 DUIs, and 1 arrest for indecent exposure by the board members hasn't convinced.
Perfectly fine with where all these are at. I'll try to organize the order of them a little bit so that they're a little bit easier to maintain.
Do you think the case related to Sheriff? Yes. To figure out how the poison was ingested, I had the victim's stomach contents
Cool.
analyzed. I found coffee, salmon,
Now, our new group.
all were contaminated with like results skill. But the small amount of food
Bridge out.
poison in the system. So I sent a tech over the house, and he found
What is this one? Okay.
in a container in the refrigerator labeled dog food. All tested positive for strychnine. Well, a dog's sense of smell is 20 times more sensitive than a human's, so it's possible that these
So bridge in is this set of sprites.
Clorox knows a lot of dusters just push dust around. New Clorox dust wipes have the power to grab and hold on to dust.
Cool. Now bridge out is where we'll add our new sprites at. Sorry if I'm missing chat here. Let me see. Nope. Still good. Are you guys still planning on remaking the player sprite? You mean the Skycurser jet itself? Yeah, I think there's talk of that. There's talk of it. We're going back and forth on it. Everybody who sees it has a comment to say that it's huge and too big. When you actually play the game, though, it's honestly, it feels like money. So if we remake it, it'll be down the line a little bit. But the only thing we'll probably do is shrink it a few pixels in height and shrink it a few pixels in width, and that's probably about it. A few more pixels in width, but not much. I mean, the hitbox on it is really good right now. The hitbox on it is super small, so...
Did you test for strict mounting system?
I'm afraid not. We only use
Alright, load me up the sprite here. Go off of today's date, which is on the desktop. Here we go.
Nothing, so she disappeared.
We started looking into who else we want Duke dead. A woman named Dolores Cloud filed 22 complaints against him.
Hook on the sprite background E0.
Well, the uniform's knocked on our door during the casting. She didn't answer.
Well, maybe we should not be allowed.
Sprite background E1.
Going somewhere?
I'm moving to Florida. Somebody help me pack? 2 policemen came by to interview me this
Okay, good there.
home. I was getting my hair done. You can ask me this.
Alright, now after that, after the bridge, which I apparently spelled incorrectly. Did I spell these other ones right? After the bridge, we're going to add another group, and that's going to be shipyard.
Maybe it was that. You know, I watch cop shows. I know what's going on here.
And I got to know, actually I don't have to know.
I've been complaining about these for years. I was going to pull my
Sprite background F1.
I don't know how many times I have to listen to that drunk addict daughter argue with Nolan about that dog. He's lost some dogs here.
Fence and main. Has if I remove background, not the right thing. Edit. Erase the color. Boom.
One called her Brenda. She was about 5 foot 320 pounds. Oh,
That cabs looks so sick. If I ever get rich, I'll definitely be seeking one for myself. Have you seen both of them? We've got 2 versions of them now. Let me see if they're on Facebook.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're on Facebook, right next to each other.
Her name is Brenda Grady. And she and Mona had a heated debate because Mona backed out of an agreement to free Duke. Apparently Duke is like the LeBron James of dog shows.
Just watched the video of Phil demoing one. Yeah. You saw it then, so.
She got angry because there's this big show coming. It was the perfect place to sell his services.
And then if it killed her?
Angry.
Okay.
She's been in Europe over the last month scouting show dogs.
Background F1, it's 1414 pixels long.
Maybe not. And Brenda's
I'm totally okay with how it's set up right now. Create another sprite. Sprite, background F2, load,
a Great Dane, and
main, edit,
all 3 of them.
erase the color, good to go. Thumbs up there. And what are my other images? I think the only other thing that I have is the boat. And I'm probably going to move the water out of here.
When is this competition that you're supposed to be in?
Every day this weekend at the convention center. And all 3 of these rivals.
Is this the water? Where's the water?
You can do, catch them off guard in one trip.
Here it is. D0. So I'm going to move it out here with this sprite. Because it's kind of a universal. I'm going to need it for the shipyard. And create one more sprite. Sprite, background, F3, load. And edit. Boom. Okay, so we got basically just a sprite of some boats. Yeah, the boats bob up and down. Cool. So let's think about this. Got to create some new objects that will match up with that, and probably sort these backgrounds in a similar way for level 2 as what we just sorted them up above, so that it's pretty straightforward. So city, group, bridge, which I spelled wrong again, but not the same wrong. Do you know if the other shirt designs are going to be added to the store? I got the main Skycurser shirt, but I love the Gaki one too. It should be added to the store. If it's not, I don't know why it's not. I'll hit Phil up on that one. Dude, thanks for supporting us, man. Thanks for getting the Skycurser shirt. That's awesome. Group. Bridge in. Bridge out. And one more group, which is shipyard. All right.
Hi, Angela. Hi. I brought you a treat. Sloppy Joe sliders. Homemade this morning. They were so good. So let's sit. Okay. Go ahead. Enjoy.
What did I call the other ones? I just left them under bridge.
So what do you think is going on with that? Sideways. Maybe not.
Okay, cool. Now let's create those objects to represent those sprites that we just added. And this guy inherits from, you guessed it, disposable. Actually, let's let this guy inherit from level 2 base background, which inherits from disposable. This goes in bridge out.
She found an Amazon believed to be correctly proportional. According to American purebred standards, he is 10% too big.
Okay. shipyard. E object background F0. Ooh, fail. I named him wrong. Yeah, dude, we'll do that too, man. For sure. We will put some posters up. It's on our to-do list for sure. I know that all shirts are supposed to be up there, all versions. I mean, we didn't have that version of the shirt created for nothing. So, that will be up there eventually. And eventually should be like as soon as possible. And so should, and I think we're commissioning some people to have some posters done. Okay, 012, and I think that is it. Now, let me see if those other images are up in Drive yet, which I'm referring mainly to the boss sprites. Oh yeah, they are. This is tight. So I'm going to download them and show you. Because this is going to be basically what I move on to as soon as I get the shipyard rolling like it should be. Yeah, it's a lot like JavaScript, honestly. I wouldn't say it's 100% like JavaScript, but it's very close. A few concepts are a little bit different. But yeah, a lot of that stuff is like bleeds right over into GameMaker language. Okay. Two is here. Man, I thought I already had it. Am I missing one? No, this should be it. Okay. Extract this guy. And extract this guy. And move him to the desktop. Alright. Now let's pull him in to GameMaker. Enemies. Julio. Yeah, let's check these out. Wow, that looks really good. Can I get that to? Wish I could zoom in on this a little bit. That's pretty much it right there, though. Alright. That's Julio. Save the changes. And load in Cesar. Maybe even Caesar. I'm not sure how he's pronouncing it. Sprite, boss 2, Caesar. Load. Oops. So that's that one. A little bit different. Looks like he's stunned right there. Interesting. Oh, wow, that looks really good.
My sister told me she wanted to kill you. We had a big fight about it. Mom was back here about 2 weeks ago. Okay, why don't you tell me what's going on?
Alright.
My sister was always hot.
So we'll just make the mask on these guys precise so that it stays the exact dimensions of the boss sprite. Same with Julio. Modify, precise. Okay, cool. Love those animations. Yeah, man, they look so sick. Alright. Enemies. Let's pull a new group into here. Boss 2.
I just left the dirty water. She's all over me about how I treat you.
I didn't say a word to her.
Why does she think I'm a bathroom hog? Because I told her. What? Why do you tell her?
Since they're two different sprites, I'm not 100% certain how this is going to work. I probably have to look at the scripting of the boss himself first to understand exactly how one is going to take damage.
Now we're gonna have to do Jane,
Okay.
I'm sorry, things that you got wrong.
I've got an even better idea of how to make that work.
No, we're having you around, but we both need a friends. Hey, how did it go with Colin? Good?
Not yet. I can believe it. Your mom said if I told her what was going on with the guy.
Boom. Julio and Caesar. Alright. So I don't need to worry about those a lot right now. We're going to come back to those bosses. The boss objects and sprites and animations in a little bit. Maybe not get to them tonight. But we will be working on the backgrounds. The transition from the bridge to the shipyard. And I think in order to do that correctly, we're going to have to modify the enemy generator controller for level 2.
She put rat poison in Duke's food. Yes, which contains strychnine, and it also contained a dye that would have turned Mona's urine bright green if she'd eaten much. However, her urine sample did not completely clear. Okay, well, what about the tox screen with all the strychnine? Well, I did a much more comprehensive analysis.
So I'll probably go script level 2 transition. Pass in the controller for the room reference and bridge out. We'll call this bridge out. And let's just go ahead and call this bridge in. And I'll modify the script to reflect that. Script, I think that's under enemies. Maybe not though. don't see the level 2 transition here anywhere.
Well, maybe it wasn't downstairs. Patricia knew. Sarah
It's underneath room controls. Got it.
Well, why would she do it?
Close, close, close.
Norris House had a tax appraisal of $367,000.
We decided to confirm the property value of the drill and discovered that 5 houses in Vermont are on escrow.
And every one of them sold over.
All right, level 2 transition. Remember we said we're going to change this to bridge in. So that'll handle that correctly. And we'll just call this bridge out.
But I intend to finish.
Yeah, Nora,
There's no big right to interrupt us this time.
So if the bridge is not generated, run this. I don't want to continue running this. I only need to have it run once because it'll hit it every single time it hits this point in time. So I want to make sure it stops, trying to execute this after it's executed at once. And I can control that by this variable right here. And I'm also passing a return value here, which tells us whether or not the bridge was generated. Although there's not really a reason for me to pass that value because I'm not using this as a true-false statement.
I've been over research.
the hospital is right next to this small village. Dedicating it to disposing high. Every Lakeman's a big kid, so I don't know. Yeah, things like that. And when you're really well to do that. He's a better. Nice compared to yours.
Alright, so we're just going to set the bridge completed to true here. So inside of here we're basically
After that, it'll just became too much. And
I think I would like to, let me just think about this for a second.
But you must have lost soldiers in the field.
but I didn't have to do with a family, I didn't have to feel your pain. Just simply see what communicating with them.
So when you left the service, you decided to be a medical examiner.
Yeah.
So I asked you to call the girl's parents and give the official custody. That's my job. And you still haven't paid me.
Okay, so if the bridge is not, if the bridge is completed, we're going to do another transition. And I haven't addressed that transition yet, but I will be. But I'm going to go ahead and set up the next transition.
That's not what she died from a large dose of a more pure kind of kryptonite.
How is that possible?
Well, she needed you to try to kill a dude with the right poison. You two argue about it in the backyard.
And actually the question is, do I need to set up the next transition? Probably not right here.
No one will be done.
No, but the house is worth $1 million.
They don't handle that. If my sister and I were in it, she was mad and crazy.
I go through the and you should know.
So I need to pull out the controller. As I'm setting up these variables here, I need to pull out the room controller for level 2 on the create, which is in an init script. Let's go to that script. Controller, room, level 2, init. And Bush's transition I'm not using at all here, so I'm just going to turn this into bridge completed equals false, arg0 dot shipyard completed equals false. And I'll leave that alone for a minute. Oh goodness.
Sounds like Duke is missing one.
Seems like you're missing a dude.
I really like that big guy.
And then we'll end the level down in this guy right here once the shipyard is completed. Now, the whole time this is going on, enemy generator level 2 is running, or sorry, background level 2 controller is running. And we have that going through the step script for background level 2. And we'll have, if the transition is not complete,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sounds like she's doing it too.
set this here. So if the transition is complete for the long bridge transition, we're running this code. That means in the middle of this somewhere, we have to run bridge complete.
So we're back to square one.
Well, whoever killed Norman had to know two things.
And we set up the
That Cyril's way to kill people.
transition script to
Well, Dolores stood to gain a lot with the real estate deal, and she told us she could do everything with her own.
$1 million will fund a pretty nice retirement in Florida.
I don't think I have a bridge done variable. I don't even know why bridge done is set right here. So we're setting bridge completed to true
The murder of Lois Evans.
on bridge out.
We have a coffee cup that tested positive for strychnine with your fingerprints on it.
And basically we can let this run. The long bridge transition is complete. Let's just put a note here. This section is the bridge. Okay, so I think what I'll just do here is if global dot room step counter greater than or equal to script timer, and we'll just say, I don't know, 200 self. Go ahead and transition. Script level 2 transition.
Thanks for helping me through all this. And I also want to apologize for kissing you.
Apologies accepted. But just so we're clear, I'm your boss, and the department has very strict rules about dating subordinates.
Understood. I also want to say that you're a very good kisser.
Can't.
I mean, technically, of course.
Well, thank you. I think.
There was something I'd like to ask you.
Start the shipyard.
Has any rule against someone to name his office dating someone from, say, police department?
So this script timer is only a temporary. Is this controller in the sense of MVC? No, not quite. MVC is model view controller. I'm not really controlling it like that. I am kind of controlling it in that same sense in terms of a controller where the controller is calling the shots for what's happening, but not 100% MVC, because V implies that there's a view as well, and the view just kind of happens the entire time. And I'm not necessarily introducing new views other than new sprites which are connected to objects. It's not 100% clean cut between MVC, how MVC actually means, and what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is a lot less clear than that. However, the controller still is the thing that is calling the shots. As are all my controllers. They're helping call the shots for backgrounds, enemies, rooms. Those are the main concepts that I have around controllers. And they're generally like overarching objects. They are controlling multiple enemies, multiple backgrounds, and multiple rooms.
He hasn't committed a major crime, which just meets your standards.
So I think what we do right here is we're in this else statement. The bushes eventually go away now that I'm looking at this, but the water doesn't. So I think what that means is I have to put the bushes in here and put the bushes in here. Because I'm going to have an if statement in here. If well, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to have this setup very similar to this setup. So we're going to just do an else if here. Else if arg0 dot long bridge transition complete and arg0 dot bridge completed is false. Then run this set of code, and we just say an else if here, which should technically be an else if shipyard completed. Then run this code, which hasn't been added yet. This should actually be else if arg0 dot bridge completed and shipyard is not completed, and have one more else if arg0 dot shipyard completed. Alright. So if the bridge is completed, put a timer on this guy. This guy will be 190. Bridge completed is set to true there. arg0 dot background E0 equals script background level 2. Ooh, this should be level 2 background regen. P2, and this should be object background B2. Okay, glad I saw that.
She's very outspoken, no feelings at all.
Well, that leads me to budget.
I think you're like 7,000. Oh, you lost your mind. You know how much we can eat for $7,000? Oh, what could we do with $7,000? You gonna wear your dress one damn time? I'm gonna pay for it.
Bridge completed, shipyard completed, not completed. To generator. arg0 dot background. Okay, so I have to say what this matches up with, which E0 matches C0. E1 matches C1. Sprite, background, C0. Okay. So I think I just changed all these to 1. Okay. E1 matches C1. And that should literally be the end of that guy. But after that,
I want something tight fitting. I like lace, a little bit of bling. What about budget? 2,000? Let's go shopping. You want to go shopping? Wedding dress shopping. Looking short. This is the one I want to see her in.
shipyard not completed. I'm thinking we should go ahead and add the shipyard to the end of these and then have them regenerate. So that's what I'm going to do. arg0 dot background F0. This is basically going to match this, except all these are going to be references to E0. E0. And of course this new one will be F. But anything that's already here will be E0. And this F0 matches E0. Dock. Gate. Bridge out. Back bridge and road out, and this is front bridge out. So here's the dock gate, and last but not least, F1 matches E1. This is the shipyard, I should say shipyard gate. And this matches E1. Okay. Okay, now we just change these to background regen and change these to F0 and F1. Remove all the other parameters there. Background F1. Alright. Good luck with baby. Hope to catch you again soon. Dude, thanks so much, man, for swinging by. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your positivity. It really goes a long way. Thank you so much, man. Talk to you soon, bro. Take it easy. Alright, I think we have the transition to the shipyard done. I need to go ahead and mark pleasure's all mine. See ya, man. Alright, shipyard completed equals true. So I'd rather not set the shipyard transition right here. Cool. I'm going to push this out even further, like 225. Alright, let's do it, guys. Let's see what we got. We've been coding for a hot minute here. Yeah, go ahead and save everything. Boom, boom. Let's see what we got.
Next headline is, guess every wedding is gonna have mason jars now. And finally, the next headline is Mom Cook. That one transpires by the newborn baby. Looks like an extremely done.
Oh.
What'd you stay woke for?
Just a mistake. Copy this guy, abort. I think I got the wrong variable here. Line 60, level 2 step. So we got to the transition. Let's see if we can get the bridge to end. So does the bridge end at the desired point in time? Oh, something happened. I think we were getting a lot of objects generated at once, which would be a bug. So what do we have here? Alright. E0, object background, E0. E1, F0, F1, F2 is the ships.
Show me what it looks like if a raccoon drank a red Bull.
I did definitely forget to do the ships, which I will not put in at this instant. We had a problem with line 70. So the second we tried to run this, background C0 did not exist apparently.
Steve suddenly realized that from now on, he would need to approach Father Son roughhousing much more careful. Like Rich. Wireless networks are awesome. They're big, fast, and dependable. And at Net10 Wireless, we let you tweet, text, talk, and surf on those amazing nationwide networks without getting locked into a pricey phone contract. America's best 4G LTE networks for a lot less. That's why talk, text, and data plans now start at $35 per month. Android smartphones start at under $20. Net10 Wireless. A good host is a good host. No matter where he's hosting. Stella Aqua, host beautiful.
Klondike ice cream meets candy bar. The best ice cream bar ever conceived.
He's not alone. The signs are everywhere. The Lincoln Summer Invitation is on. Get exceptional offers on MKZ sedan. The luxury small utility MKC. The iconic Navigator. And get a first look at the entirely new 2016 midsize utility Lincoln MKX.
Your choice of MKC, MKZ, gas or hybrid for $369 a month with zero due inside. Now with Kittles and Kittles Rooms Express, get 4 ways to save. Save at least 40 to 60% store-wide, plus pay no sales tax, plus make no down payment, plus pay no interest for 3 years. Get 4 ways to save this weekend at Kittles and Rooms Express.
If your child ever asks you where the sandwiches come from, tell them the truth. Look them straight in the eyes and tell them, sandwiches come from Arby's. And if they ask you where local Italian meats come from, how do you respond? What part of Arby's didn't you understand, Giuseppe? The new loaded Italian sandwich. Arby's, we have the meats.
It's not enough to know that severe weather is approaching.
Only live Dr. 13 radar pinpoints response all right now with no delay. Now, we're not going to do some conversations. We have 6 days old.
Live Dollar 13 radar on 13 Eyewitness News. There are other luxury cars starting around $29,900. But when put to the challenge, not one of them made this claim.
So I'm not sure what doesn't exist, because this guy should be pulling from this guy. Like, by the time we get here, this guy should already exist. Okay, guys, I have been streaming for a little over 2 hours. I think this is a good place to stop. I have a bug right now, and I am pretty exhausted, and I know this will be a good place to pick up tomorrow when my mind is fresh. And if I happen to get any work done on it, either tonight or tomorrow, I'll walk through it like I always do. I'll walk through exactly what it is that I just finished working on, and talk you through how I got past a particular stopping point. So, guys, as always, thanks for the follows, thanks for the support. Really appreciate you guys coming in here and talking every day. It's awesome. So until next time. So hopefully next time will be a little bit sooner than this stream was. I think I was probably not streaming for about a week or so. So hopefully it'll be a little bit sooner than that. But this is where I should pick up next time. We basically worked through a couple of bugs and memory leaks on today's stream, and the bugs were related to the transition in the background, and the memory leak was related to the backgrounds not getting deleted when they fly off screen. So we have fixed that and patched that up. It's in a really good spot. We also added a little bit of inheritance to every single background, and now we're just working on the transition based on which enemies have been killed in the storyline, and we're basically trying to close down the bridge, basically cross the bridge, and then you hit the end of the bridge, and you're supposed to hit the shipyard right after that. So that's what we're working on right now. We're really close to getting that up and running, but we're just going to have to sit tight until I can address this in the very near future. So, like I said, guys, I will talk to you guys next time.